My top 5 tips to be in the sneaker game in 2023. Welcome in, boys and girls. I hope you guys had an amazing new year and Christmas. It is time to take over the year. It's been slow. It is a slower month as always. January is always slow, so don't worry if you're feeling like, oh man, there's not been a lot of sneaker releases, there's not been a bunch of reselling. Don't worry, you're not alone. We're all feeling the same way in the community, but don't worry, that's going to pick up here very, very soon. I want to give you my top 5 tips, like I said, and of course down below, I thought, why not? Let's get all started on a good start to the year. I'm going to attach an Excel spreadsheet on how I track all my inventory. Hopefully you guys can use this. Now, it's not very advanced, so if you are more advanced with Excel, just know this may probably be a little too basic for you, but I want to start you guys off on some very, very good notes, and I want you guys to be tracking all year because it's important that you do so, because at the end of the year, you'll know if you made a loss, a gain, and this will help get your finances aligned for the next year. Now, before we jump into this video, of course, let's hold up our coffee cups. If you watch this at nighttime, sorry if it's in the morning. Hey, here we go. Cheers up, baby. Let's get started for the 2023 year in sneaker reselling. So first off, my tip number 5, don't always rely on internet releases. As times are slow right now, that doesn't mean in-store product is slow. You guys have got to be putting in footwork. I have been watching people go eat up pandas. Pandas seem to be everywhere, all around stores. You need to be checking your JD Sports, Finish Lines, Foot Lockers, places like that. Use in-store monitors that actually scan their inventory. If you need access to one of those, of course, we have one in Kicked. Notify if you want that. There are some links down below. If those are not needed, I'm not saying you need those, but they do help. And they're not always 100% accurate. I'll be honest with you right now, because things do change. But you guys need to be getting in-store and really, really be checking all of your places. This is one way to really keep your sales going as times are slow right now. And you never know what you may find. You may find some random restocks that could be massive for you, and it'd be awesome. Then you go post up on Instagram, check it out, man. I'm a looper. You know how it is. We see that all over Instagram. I get excited about it too. I post as soon as I get those shoes. I know you guys know what I mean. I get them in, so I'm like, yo, check it out. I got these. Tip number 4. Now, I know you hear this all the time, but getting a good cook group. I don't care which one you go join. Find which one works for you, because one group may work better than the other, but there's a few features that do help you a ton. Now, if there are shock drops, if there are in-store restocks, there's in-store pings, man. We got restock monitors. You never know what may drop. We saw some Jordan 4 Red Thunders randomly on Shoe Palace this morning. That's why these features do help out a ton. You never know when these restocks may happen. And on top of that, you'll have constant support. Within the right cook group, they will support you all the time. You have questions, they will answer your questions. They will get you on the right track, get set up, set yourself up for success within 2023. And another cool feature about a lot of cook groups, they have full marketplaces. So if you can't find ways to sell some of your sneakers, well, guess what? There's a marketplace. Never do GUA. That means guaranteed upon arrival. That means they'll pay you when it shows up to the doorstep. Never do that. Get your payment before you send your shoes out, because I see way too many people get scammed on GUA. Now, my number 3. This may be one of my favorite tips within the sneaker reselling game. Focus on volume over big ticket items. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, I want the Travis Scotts, I want Off-Whites. Now, those items, they're great. Yes, the big ticket items look awesome. Those big $1,000 sales, $500, $600, $700 sales. Now, those shoes are much harder to sell, and it's harder to come by. Those big ticket items, you get like one chance every like 3 or 4 months to get a big ticket item. That's why we want to focus on volume. Volume, what do you mean by volume? What I mean by volume is going, like I said, looping. Maybe a dunk that's making you $20, $30. Yeah, no, it's not a $500 or $600 profit. If you do $20 to $30 10 times, that's $200 or $300 in profit, and you can just keep looping those. And those smaller items, since you're selling at a better price, $160 compared to $1,000, you're gonna have more clients looking for that, because not everybody's in the position to spend $1,000 on a pair of shoes. I mean, think about it. When's the last time you bought a pair of shoes for $1,000? For me, never. And when's the last time you bought a pair for $160? We do that almost in retail all the time at Jordans, and that's why you need to focus the volume. It will help your sales greatly, I'm telling you. So like I said, take note. Don't just focus big ticket items. Of course, supplement them in when you have a chance. Doing volume will take your reselling to a whole different level. Tip number 2, and one thing I preach on the internet all the time, put your all into your work. Be respectful. Be on time. If you're selling to somebody and you're having a buyer meet you somewhere, be on time. Actually, be early. Don't keep your customer waiting. This is my biggest pet peeve. I go to sell to somebody, or I do this, and I'm always on time. It's same if you're a buyer. If you're a buyer of some of this stuff, show up on time. I've had to wait multiple times. There's no worse look on you than being late. I mean, I know, I get it. 5 minutes, not a big deal. But if you have your buyer or seller waiting for 20, 30 minutes, dude, it doesn't look good on you. That's not a good business practice. It's not a good business model. So don't do that. Put your name on the line. Make sure you respect your name, and people will really take note. I know that sounds like, oh, that's simple, this and that. I'm telling you, people will take mental notes if you're always on time, if you're respectful with them when you're talking to them, if you're not trying to scam them, if you're not trying to hit them with some crazy prices. And when you show up to a sale or when you're going to meet a client, don't change the price out of nowhere. If you agreed on a price, don't change it in person. There's nothing worse than meeting in person than someone changes their mind, or they decide, oh, I want to give you less, or you're going to try charging them more. You can never upcharge. Like if you go and you agree on a price and you show up and you change your mind, actually it's more than what I asked you, that's not going to happen. That's not how business works, and 99.9% of your buyers are going to walk away from that. Do not be that seller. And my number one tip that I say all the time, I'm going to continue to say it all through 2023. Get off the apps. You guys are paying percentage fees. You're getting feed on eBay, StockX, Go. These fees are eating away at your profits. Now, I know some of you guys do amazing on apps. I'm not saying it's the worst thing ever. I love the platform that it brings people to really get started. And there's nothing wrong if you're starting out getting on it. And if you've already been established, and if you want to continue to use that, that's fine. But in my opinion, in 2023, we need to get off these apps as they're raising prices, the margins are getting slimmer and slimmer with all these fees they're hitting us with. So you need to get off the apps. Like I said, get off Go, get off eBay, get off StockX, start focusing local clients. And you may ask, how do I get off these things? How do I get clients? How do I find these people? Facebook Marketplace is one that I use all the time, or used to use all the time, and it was amazing. There are a few categories. I have it up on the screen right now, as you can see, as we're rolling through. It's so easy to make a listing and for your local area. Facebook is great. Now, one thing I do always say with Facebook, meet in a place there's cameras and where there's a lot of foot traffic. There's some crazy people out there, I know. Then you're like, oh, why are you telling people to go focus local if there's crazy people? You can tell from a Facebook profile. Make sure you meet in a place where there's like a lot of foot traffic, there's cameras, and if you're really that worried, go meet at a police station. If they're scared to meet at a police station, then don't do the sale. It's as simple as that. With that being said, set your prices at a very competitive price. It's important you do so. That's one way to win clients over. Yes, you may be able to make a $5 or $10 more. I would rather establish a client with going down $5 to $10 to keep a long-term client, because you always have someone there to buy that sneaker. That'll be a constant flow of sales coming in, and that is very, very important when it comes to this. Yes, of course, make maybe $5 to $10 more on a sale there, but if you can get that one client that's going to come back to you time and time again for each and every release, that means so much more than having that one online sale that made you $5 or $10 more, in my opinion. So guys, that is my top 5 list for 2023. Hopefully you can take advantage of this list. Like I said, I do have a Excel spreadsheet down below. I've been asked for a spreadsheet before, and I've never released one, so I was like, well, might as well get one out now. And let me tell you right now, it's a very, very basic spreadsheet, so don't expect it to be super, super like in-depth and advanced. I know some of you guys probably have even better spreadsheets, and that's fine, but those of you that are just looking for one to start out with, you can really build off this one and set it up for the rest of the year, and you'll be setting yourself up for 2023. I can't wait to see what kind of opportunities that actually going to come out of this year, because I know a lot of us here in this community are going to do very, very well. Well, to you guys, if you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for being here. Thank you guys for showing me support. As always, it means the world to me. But that is it for me, guys. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you guys on the next one. I'm out. Peace.